People ask, what does my morning routine look like?
I'm up about 5, so every morning starts with a run. And that's because that's the one thing I hate to do more than anything in the world.
So I set my day up for a life that I can enjoy, not a day that I need to struggle through.
Every morning I wake up and I just say, thank you. What does my morning routine look like? So I try to go back to the basics. You know, I've tried advanced things, I've tried tricky things, I've tried to biohacking, extreme stuff, but what I've found works is the basics, the fundamentals.
I'm up about 5:30, so every morning starts with a run. And that's because that's the one thing I hate to do more than anything in the world. So that's like my cup of coffee. And I'm all about armoring yourself. So the second you leave your house, and the second you open your phone, the second you do any of that, you are now letting in poison and cancer. So as I get up, I start to armor plate my mind and body. Like a person's going to war, you put your body armor on. That's what I'm doing on that run. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself all this armor. So when I come out in the world, now look at that phone, I'm ready.
So you hear you've got to get up at 4 a.m. Well, why do you have to get up at 4 a.m.? Why not get up at 10 a.m.? What's the difference? But there are a lot of people out there who think that you have to get up early in order to do something great with your life. That doesn't mean that they can't be successful or that they can't grow or that they can't achieve. Because there are some fundamental human behavior factors that are taken out of the equation by these people. What I found was that unless you are really clear in what makes you as an individual tick and what your values are, your purpose, your mission, what are the visions that you consistently have, how to balance out all the past shit that you haven't probably dealt with. If you don't do this stuff, then you are probably going to just live life based on trial and error. So you really need to make sure that you align your daily actions with your values, your goals, and your mission. And make sure that what you do is fulfilling so that you do it long term and it creates really good habits.
Something that I'm a big fan of is perspective. Every breath I'm taking right now is closer to my last breath of my life. Every day that I wake up, it's getting me closer to my last day of my life. But every morning I wake up and I just say, thank you. Thank you for another day. I woke up. A lot of people did not wake up this morning, and I got to wake up to experience it.
You said before about how you build up self-esteem and confidence and stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's this quote from one of my friends, Alex Hormozy, that says, you don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt.
Yes, because a lot of people will, and some of these motivational people out here, it's the funniest thing in the world to me. They'll go and say, when you wake up in the morning, pound your chest. You know, fucking look at yourself in the mirror and do all this fucking bullshit. I hope it works. What works for me is that everyday resume, the things I know I've accomplished, the things I know I've done, real hard work, the real calluses on my mind, the real calluses on my hands. That's it.
So you might hear these things like, you got to get up at 4 a.m. So Monday comes, you get up at 4 a.m., you go to the gym, you exercise, you do this amazing morning routine, you have your cold shower. Well, that's great, but what happens by Thursday is that most people drop out of that, they stop having their cold shower, they can't be fucked getting up because now they're exhausted. This then causes them to beat the shit out of themselves, feel guilty, feel like they're not good enough, and then they start again the following week. And so the majority of people in our society go through this, which is why you have to be really clear with your success map in life if you want to achieve.
People say, well, attitude is everything. I believe it's true. When you come from a place of negativity, you attract more of it. When you come from a place of positivity, people are drawn to you. You're a magnet for opportunities. You're a magnet for love, fulfillment, joy. You are become a magnet for more opportunities in your life when you have a positive attitude, an attitude of gratitude. All these things, which are fundamentals, basics, all these things are key. And it's something that I continue to live by because it continues to bring abundance in my life. So say thank you for another day and express gratitude and carry that throughout the day. Yes, there's gonna be times where you're frustrated and sad and hurt. You're not gonna be a robot, but I'm telling you, the more you can focus on this as the foundation for your life, the more opportunities will come your way.
I believe that you have to build belief. Belief is like, there's an after school special belief where the mom says, believe in yourself, and that's all great. But there's also a built belief. And the built belief is one where you are constantly Like for me, I came from a bad place. How I build belief is through the daunting tasks I put myself through. So that's proof positive that I can. So it correlates. And that's how this piece of shit kid I once thought I was built belief by saying, I was in 3 Hell Weeks. I went to Ranger School. I tried out for Delta Selection. That is proof, motherfucker. So whenever you think you can't, confidence comes from the thing that you built.
So the first thing that you want to do is you really need to get clear with your values, because your values make you who you are. There are some people out there who have their highest value as family, and they'll start this morning routine, they go to the gym, they exercise, and then all of a sudden something happens in their family dynamic where they have to be there for the kids. Now, if you don't understand that your highest priority in life is your family, and you're trying to prioritize other stuff over the top of family, that will only happen for a short period of time before you self-sabotage and give up on the goal of going to the gym and getting up early and so on. So your self-sabotage patterns are essentially a symptom of not knowing how to prioritize your life effectively. Most people don't know what they're trying to achieve in life, so they're using trial and error, and they're trying things out to see if it works, and then when it doesn't work, they beat themselves up and they feel guilty, and then they try something else. Now, if you do that for 40, 50, 60 years, you'll waste your life and you might not figure it out, like most people. Whereas if you're smart, you will go and get really, really clear with your values because you know that they're your priorities.
How can you make your morning routine and habits actually stick? You don't want to throw everything on your plate at once. Okay, I'm going to do 20 things in the morning routine to optimize my day. It's going to be exhausting. You're not going to be able to do it. So we want to start small. Try 2 or 3 things in the morning. Don't go for hours, but just try 2 or 3 things. What are 2 or 3 things that take 5 to 10 minutes that you can do, and track it for 7 days and make it the most important thing that day. You're going to be being your word, which builds integrity with yourself by just following through on these things. You're going to feel more productive after that first hour. So start small and take it 1 day at a time. Start with 7 days.
You must build belief. You must build confidence. It can't be like, hey, I'm gonna go knock that shit out. You gotta look over here and say, I can knock that shit out. It's belief, and it's built on what you put in to yourself. I came from a small town in Indiana where there was a handful of black families. And a lot of people in that town, when you come from a town of 8,000 people, it's like we had a local plant, Great Dane. And you're like, you know what? I wanna work at Great Dane and get a house next to my mom. That's what you know. So many of us come from these small places in our mind that we're not willing to think outside of only what we've seen. Our mind works in such a small compartment. And one thing I was able to do was to dream.
That's why your values are so important, because essentially they're your prioritization mechanism or a gating mechanism within your brain that allow you to see the world differently and allow you to behave and act differently. If you embrace that, you will become great at something. But if you don't embrace it and try to be like other people, you're always going to be a second-rate version of everybody else out there. If someone loves themselves and they get themselves and they know what their greatness is, or they live their values, they will be able to implement patterns of behavior that enhance their greatness. Now, if you got Michael Jordan and you said to him, you need to sit all day and play computer games, he'd probably lose his fucking mind. But if you got a gamer who could sit there all day long and play computer games, they would thrash Michael Jordan. Now, are there people out there who earn as much money as Michael Jordan did playing basketball as playing games? Yeah. It's just that they are different. They're different people. If you got the gamer to go and play basketball with Michael Jordan, they would probably last about 2 minutes, get an injury, hate the game, and want to give up. Now, that's how most people live when they're living outside of their values.
I've seen the recent studies say it takes 66 days for a new habit to really stick. So what I would suggest is break it down into a week at a time. So 7 days I'm going to do this. Just don't say I'm going to do this for 66 days. Say for the next 7 days I'm going to do this. And then do it another 7 days so that it can really become part of your day where you eventually don't even think twice about it. I really recommend finding an accountability partner that you can check in with every single day in person, or even just a quick text message. So I like to pay for accountability because it's even more commitment. So if I just have a workout partner, we'll commit to each other, but if I pay for a trainer or a coach, I show up every time. So you want to stack the odds in your favor, whatever that looks like for you. And if you don't want a coach right now, if you can't afford that, that's fine. You can have an accountability buddy or a friend. and that works too.
Until you're able to really put yourself into that dream, but don't make dreams your master, that's where you truly become what you're destined to become.
What do you mean, don't make dreams your master?
A lot of people sit back and they dream about being a sports figure, or dream about being a SEAL, or dream about being an astronaut, and all it is a motherfucking dream. They don't put the work behind the dream. That dream has become their fucking master. When you become the master of your fucking dream is when you say, I want to go be a Navy SEAL, and you say, okay, I'm gonna lose 106 pounds in less than 3 fucking months. The dream was the one thing I thought about, and the dream was now gone. Now, what comes in, the dream goes away, and the fucking laundry list of fucking details and tasks come up. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. That's when you become the master of your dream.
There is no right or wrong way of making money, and there is no right or wrong way of succeeding in life. There are so many different ways it can happen. It's just that most people only look at certain individuals that aren't like them and say, maybe I need to be like them. And so they want to change their values and want to do something different or be different. But the truth is, you don't need to be anything different. You just need to be yourself. And your greatness is already wrapped up within you. It's just most people don't know what that looks like because they've never seen it before. So in order to establish your personal success routine or your personal daily routine or your morning routine, you need to know your values, because your values will make sure that you start the day well. You need to find out what works for you, because that's unique to you. And if you set your mornings up based on your values, you'll crush it in life. So you've got to find your own effective tools to help you to live your life the best way that you can, because life is short, so you might as well enjoy it.